I think one of my favorite scenes was the van scene.
Oh yes,
yeah. Because you have so much going on here. You have this couple having sex in the back, but Jelly and A really connecting, and you're actually going to believe at this point they are going to die for each other. They would fight and die for each other. And risk everything. How did you approach capturing this? Because this you had to establish a lot, the fun, but a heartfelt moments.
Very much. That is another crucial moment of the film. You know, getting towards the end of our second act, you really have to sense they're the midpoint of this relationship where they're kind of at like that cusp. And so you want to make sure that everything has been building to this moment. They're being sincere with each other. It doesn't feel forced. And so again, that's about Olivia and Mason like connecting on the day in that van and really mining that material to make sure you are like on the same emotional wavelength as they play pretend, and that you're really keyed into this. One of the things that really helps to, I think helps assist this believability and the sense of charm is our drugged out hippie couple in the back having sex.
Yeah.
So the thing about these guys is that, yes, it was scripted, and yes, we knew they were going to be back there. This is just another evidence of like Josh Rubin's kind of expertise and his genius level when it comes to comedy. He saw a rough cut of this, and he's like, I talked about how important it was and how much time we spent on the opening. This car scene with the hippies having sex in the back was the scene that we worked on the most throughout the entire editing experience of Hearteyes, because this, like we wanted to be really make sure with Ali and Jay were with them, but it might feel a little saccharine. It might feel just a little too sweet if you didn't have some wasabi, if you didn't have something to kind of offset that. And so with our Greek chorus of our couple in the back, we recorded our poor actors, that hippie couple, I think 2 or 3 times to get the right sounds. We had Zelda Williams, a writer-director of like Lisa Frankenstein. She was the first member that came in to give notes at these friends and family screenings we did. She watched back that scene, and the early version of that scene that barely had our hippies at all. I mean, you maybe heard a few sounds and you heard some like, but not a whole lot of activity. And Zelda's like, you're missing, this is like an opportunity to like really lean in and really do something that is surprising for an audience they haven't seen before, but also kind of, there's an opportunity for comedy that I feel you're sitting on and not quite utilizing. And so throughout the next several weeks of the editing process, like I said, we brought our actors back in, we brainstormed ideas. Josh had very particular things he wanted to hear. He's like, I want springs, I want beer cans moving around. So it became kind of like an all hands on deck with like our Foley team in New Zealand, our New Zealand actors, and in editorial kind of bouncing back and forth these ideas to find a way to, I think, counter a little bit of the sweetness to make it feel a little more, so it's not just like that end of the second act, oh, I lost my rubber ducky moment. Like, let's talk about our backstories. And although we do it sincerely, it's a little bit of a trope. Right. And so we wanted to kind of subvert that a little bit, and yet the impossible task was do it sincerely, make you feel for them, and yet at the same time, we're going to give you this Greek chorus comedy bonanza going on in the background.
But I also think there's some drama with that couple, because they actually represent what couples should be. Totally comfortable, in love, like, they're not hiding their feelings, which our couple is.
Yes.
So I think it was actually a nice little juxtaposition. Yeah.
It turned out great. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and this is something that, like, again, goes back to Josh Rubin, his commitment to like working on something and fine-tuning and dialing in on just the right decibel range, the right sound effect. I mean, we went through so many different sounds of squeaks, so many little, so many, like the difference between a wah and a is the difference sometimes of a laugh like that. Yeah. He can get so into the fidelity of these little sounds to elicit the right reaction, and nothing. I remember one of my favorite moments in the sound mix was when there's a fart sound in that scene, and we had someone go into an ADR booth, and we did, and we had like a rung out, like a selects reel of like 10 different farts, and I have a video of Josh being like, not that one, not that one. Too low, no, and just picking the right one to go in. If you go too big with it, if it becomes too much to take you out of the scene, it destroys the moment. So finding that wavelength is such a subjective thing, which is difficult because you have no binary right or wrong. It's just what does your director feel in that moment, and that's a balancing act. And that's one of the reasons I love working with Josh, is that he invites us into that process. My entire editorial team to find that balance.